last thing Ranger Cole expected that night was a call about Cabin 9. That place hadn't been rented in weeks. No one wanted it. Locals said the woods around it felt wrong, like the trees grew too quiet, like the trail behind it always swallowed sound. Still, duty was duty. He pulled up in his Jeep just after midnight, headlights cutting through the fog that hung thick across the ground. The cabin sat crooked in the dark, boards bending inward like the whole structure was exhaling slowly. The porch light flickered, even though no electricity was supposed to be running out here. Cole stepped out, boots crunching the cold leaves. His radio cracked with static, just static. Usually he'd call in, say he'd arrived, but the interference was so sharp it hurt his ears. He shut it off. The air around Cabin 9 always felt different, heavy, cold in a way the weather couldn't explain. Cole had been here once before, years back, when a couple had reported someone whispering outside their window. By the time he arrived, they were already running down the trail, terrified, claiming something had crawled beneath their bed and breathed their names. He checked the cabin back then, found nothing. He hoped tonight would be the same. Cole climbed the porch. The boards gave a long, aching creak beneath him. He knocked once on the door, feeling silly for doing it. Nobody was supposed to be here. But the moment his hand left the wood, he froze. Someone knocked back. 3 soft taps from the inside. Cole stepped away fast. "Park Ranger," he called. "If someone's in there, I need you to speak up." Silence. Then, something brushed the door from inside, like fingertips. Cole tried the handle. Locked. Good. That meant no break-ins. Maybe the old place was settling, wood warping with the temperature, creating noises. He told himself that over and over, even as the porch light buzzed and flickered above his head. He circled the cabin, checking windows. Most were dark, but the living room window had a faint glow, like a lantern wick, barely holding on. He leaned closer, hands on the frame. Something moved inside, a shape, low to the floor, crawling. He jerked back. Probably an animal, he told himself, but his heart didn't believe it. He grabbed his flashlight, clicked it on, and angled the beam through the window. The room was empty. Just an old couch, a table, dust dancing in the light. No crawling figure. But the floorboards, they were bowing downward, just a little, as if someone had stepped across them seconds before he looked. Cole moved to the back door. Unlike the front, this one was cracked open an inch, warm air leaking through, as if someone was still inside, moving around. He pushed it carefully, slowly, and stepped into the cabin. The smell hit first, damp wood and something metallic. He swept his flashlight across the room, but the beam flickered like the batteries were dying. He tapped it, and it steadied. The living room looked untouched, but the shadows felt strange here. They clung too closely to the corners, like they didn't want to let go. Cole called out again. "If you're inside, you need to come out." He waited. That's when he heard it. A whisper, soft, right behind him. He spun, but no one was there. The back door was still open, swinging slightly in the breeze. He stepped forward, and his flashlight died completely. Darkness swallowed the room. A slow inhale brushed his ear. Cole's hand shot to his holster. He switched on the red emergency light clipped to his belt, flooding the room in a dim, bloody glow. And there, under the table, something crouched. Not an animal, not a person. It was too pale for that. Skin stretched thin, almost gray. Its limbs were too long, its shoulders too sharp, and its face, God, its face, looked like it was learning how to smile for the first time. It tilted its head at him, then spoke in a voice that didn't sound like a voice at all. It knew his name. He didn't know how, but it knew. He aimed the light directly at it. The thing recoiled, folding itself smaller, as if the dim red hurt its eyes. Cole didn't wait. He backed toward the door, trying not to trip over the uneven boards. The thing crawled after him. Not fast, slow, purposeful, like it wanted him to feel every second of how close it was. Cole reached the porch, grabbed the door, and slammed it shut. He didn't stop moving until he reached his Jeep. When he looked back, the cabin was dark again, the porch light dead. No movement inside. But on the fogged rear window of his Jeep, a handprint slowly formed from the inside. Long fingers, too long. He drove all the way back to the ranger station with every light on.